Well, welcome back. We've got Colorado. The Buffaloes in the house. Coach Boyle. We got Sebastian Ranchik. How was that? Did I do that okay?
Yeah, you did great.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel good. Okay, I felt good about it when I said it. Yeah, thank you. And Bangad Dak. Good to see you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate it. So, Coach Boyle, I'm going to make an assumption, and I'll let you go from there. So the obvious conversation we have to talk about a lot of just all of it goes into from a transfer portal standpoint of the identification process of talent, fit, all of that. But when I look at some of the guys you got, it appears to me that you have the pretty good flexibility to, if you need to play small ball, you can. If you got to play bigger, you can.
Absolutely. One of the things we really value, Mike, in recruiting is versatility, both offensive versatility, and, these two guys are great examples of that, 6'10", 6'11", guys that are multi-talented, but also defensive versatility, guys that can guard multiple positions, do some switching if the game calls for that. So, I think whether it's a wing player, whether it's a point guard, whether it's a big guy, sometimes you don't get that. There's some guys, Elijah Malone for us is a great example. He's more of your prototypical five-man. Now he's a really good one. He may not have the versatility that these guys have.
His last 3 games of the season were really good.
Fantastic. And he's, thank God we got him back for another year, because you don't find physical, centers like him just walking down the street. I mean, he's a force down low. If you don't double team him, he's gonna make you pay. So, but versatility by and large is something we really value in the recruiting process when we're identifying talent.
Is the importance of a lot of times just retaining guys in this day and age. Obviously, you get your 2 guys back, but what does that do for you from a continuity standpoint and teaching your system offensively and defensively?
It means everything. I mean, and Bangott was here 2 years ago on the team that won 26, games, and he saw, KJ every day, and now KJ was a junior. He saw Tristan. It was his 4th year. He saw those guys as upperclassmen, and now Bangott is that upperclassman that these freshmen are looking up to. So it's a perpetual thing that if you don't have that continuity, I don't know how you do it. But these 2 guys, I know at the end of last year as a coaching staff, along with Elijah, along with Felix Casares, and we were redshirting Andrew Crawford, but these 2 guys were critical, and we had to retain them. I would go as far as to say if we didn't retain them, you'd probably be talking to a different coach right now, because I wouldn't want to, coach this team without 2 of these guys with me.
Well, we're going to pick on one of those guys right now, Bangott. We're going to do a little film breakdown with you. Okay, you ready? You ready for this?
Right,
so we're going to pull up that Colorado film. This is where, if I was playing with you as a point guard, I love this and how often that you do this. I really enjoy watching. So this is, Big 12 tournaments, a sideline out of bounds. And you're going to put yourself in a position that's exceptional. And I think the amount of times that you move well without the ball is probably one of the most underrated things about your game. So that's you. It's just a basic, simple little horn set. And what you're going to end up doing is to go ahead and run it. What you're going to end up doing is when you pop out, you're going to do something you maybe about a bit too high, but you give the post duck in a look, which I really appreciate, right? Then you go right to that chase ball screen. You were open, and they didn't throw it. But you didn't quit on the play. You didn't complain. And now you're hunting for screening and you're hunting for spacing. Your guy goes to double. You realize it. 2 hands up in the air. Bang, you do it. That's moving out the ball. That gives like a guard, like myself, somewhat a ton of confidence that I missed you the first time. You don't quit on it, and you keep going. I mean, are you getting a sense from that with this team with all these new faces?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, the play's never over while we're still on offense. So, I'm going to keep playing. I miss people too. So, it's not just like I'm going.
Yeah, you missed the duck in on that play, actually.
yeah, I did. But, I miss people too. It's just part of the game. So, you just got to keep playing. But with this group, I'm definitely confident in them being able to find me in situations like that and give me the ball in spots that I like.
It was a really good post answer there, Coach. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, look, we always talk about the screener being sometimes the most dangerous guy, and when you are a good screener, it's amazing how you end up with shots like he just on that clip you showed. I mean, he looked to set 2 or 3 screens in that one possession, and Bangott really understands the game. That sometimes it's hard to teach that, but he's a really intelligent player. that if you tell him something one time, he usually gets it. And that that was a great clip because he's become a really good screener for us. And as a result, he's going to get a lot of looks because of it.
Sebastian, has there been, but before we take it out questions to the media, has there been a guy, one of the new guys that you think have been, wow, I didn't think he was going to be this good, that has been that guy?
I would definitely say Isaiah Johnson. Just his IQ and his ability to score and make the right read most of the time has really impressed me.
Freshman.
Yes, freshman. Mm-hmm. So I've been really impressed with him. And one more guy that I have to give a shout out to is Jalen Holland with his physicality, aggressiveness. He's impressed me with the way he's been shooting the ball, and both of them are great defenders. So I've been really impressed with them too.
Two freshman guards. Would you agree with that breakdown, Coach?
Absolutely. I'd add a couple more. I'd add Josiah Sanders to that mix. Yeah. He's a big, strong, physical guard who can attack the rim and put pressure on the defense.
It's a transfer from Denver.
That's John Mann. He's a transfer from Denver. He's a sophomore, but Josiah is another true freshman along with Jalen and Isaiah. Alone, Michele is a kid who we signed late from Israel. That is a terrific, terrific player. He's just still figuring out what American basketball is like, what college basketball is like. He's played at the professional level for the last couple of years over there. So different practice routines, different languages, obviously, and food. And he hadn't gone to school for a couple of years. So, there's an adjustment period for him. But our freshman class is gonna help us win games this year. Now, it may not be one guy every single night, but the guys we just mentioned have a chance. Ian Inman's a really, really good shooter from Texas that we got. So different guys with different skill sets that are going to help us this year.
How do you have to adjust, Coach, coaching freshmen quicker than you've ever had to coach? That's a loaded question, I know, but it's hard to explain if you're not in the office every day.
Yeah, and I think, look, these two guys are a great example. Like Bangat, when he was a freshman, he was on a team that won 26 games. He was on a team with a lot of veteran talent. I didn't have to coach him as hard as maybe I had to coach Sebi last year because we needed Sebi last year too. So when you need freshmen to respond and really, really help you that year, you've got to coach them like they're not freshmen. And so our freshman class, Sebi mentioned Isaiah. I had to pull him aside a few days ago and say, look, Isaiah, I'm coaching you hard. And I think sometimes freshmen, when you do that, they think, well, coach doesn't like me or he doesn't think I'm good enough. I said, it's just the opposite. Like if I'm not coaching you hard, you got to start worrying, and because you're probably not going to play a lot as a freshman. But if I am coaching you hard, it's because I expect you and we need you to play at the next level. And that's a process that every player goes through depending on the team that they come into. And Bangat came into a team totally different than the team that Sebi came into, last year. So, and this year's team, we're going to need some of those guys to step up. So I got to coach them a little harder.
Bangat, and I know your head coach is right there, so you kind of have to be a little extra careful what you actually say. I understand that. But there were a few times last season where you caught it, pump fake to the top of the key like you're hitting a three, catch, rip, and go. I mean, that's at your size, that position, it's terrifying, right, to line up against. Can you speak to the evolution of your game from an off-season perspective, what you've tried to add into your game?
I just try to become a lot better shooter. I feel like if I can knock down the open shot or be a threat from outside, it's just going to open up those opportunities a lot more to be able to drive to the hoop and get dunks like that. And then, just trying to be able to handle the ball a little bit better also because, I feel like I'm somebody that has a unique skill set that can handle the ball a little bit. So being able to go to someone like me, in any type of situation is something that's helpful.
I think we got one question from the media. Okay, yeah, right here.
AJ Niergarter, University Daily Canes. And Bangat, in an era where it's almost unheard of nowadays, staying for 3 years at Colorado, what makes you not want to leave and stay at Colorado for that long?
Just the people that came before me, I feel like my game kind of similar to those type of people. And our coaching staff's done a good job of people with my type of skill sets, getting them into the NBA. And also, I just feel like with the team that we got coming this year, that we'll be able to make some noise and do something that we did my freshman year, and that's something I want to experience again.
Guys, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate your time and the conversation. Good luck this season.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.